Okay, so I'm really excited to have been given this time to tell you about this brand new product of Adizes, and I emphasize the use of the word product. Okay, this was something that was the brainchild of Dr. Adizes as a result of discussion that we had not too long ago, 6 months ago, about expanding the educational reach of the institution. And just quickly, I've known Dr. Adizes most of my life. We come from the same village, so to speak, from all the way from North Macedonia to Israel, back to the US. We follow a similar journey. I have worked for a period of time for the Institute as head of publishing, and some of you may know a product that I've worked on quite a bit, which is called Top Leaf. Okay. Most of my work has been involved in innovation and a lot of it in entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship, with the emphasis on bringing new markets, especially international markets, for new products, new developments for either existing companies or startups. I also teach that. I've been teaching it for years. I have taught thousands of students around the world, and have done development of curricula in many institutions. Original curricula. I was very pleased when I started working on this that Dr. Adizes gave me access to his people, because it was definitely something that needed to be a full collaborative effort, because we started from zero. And we really needed experts to come in from every possible area. So one of the things that I brought to the equation is not coming from the inside of Adizes, but coming from the outside. I've been working with this organization called Upgrade for the last 3 years as what is called professor of practice in several of their global educational programs, one originating out of the United States and one originating out of Geneva, Switzerland. And I was really getting to a point that I thought that these guys, they're based in India, really cornered the market when it came to their ability to scale programs, especially graduate programs or more specialized programs, into a very wide audience. And they knew how to scale it in a manner that they provided the sustainable infrastructure, the right resources, and the ability to standardize processes for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of students coming in from every corner of the world. So I thought, they're the kind of organization that maybe if we bring Adizes to, we can start a discussion of what can be offered through them that is going to extend the reach of Adizes to areas that we have never even dreamed about. So I'm here to give you a market-oriented presentation, which is what was talked about before, regarding what was the goal for this. So we wanted to be able to reach parts of the world that perhaps are not as accessible or as familiar with Adizes, but can tremendously benefit from it. And we thought if we use Upgrade, we're going to really lean hard on their ability to reach massive amounts of students, right? Of those seeking learning, lifelong learning, or actual students, to bring us into the fold of their incredible global expansion opportunities, piggyback on them, learn from them, and who knows, maybe get even better than them. So here are some of the universities that they work with. Many of them are very well known. However, my approach when I started talking to them was like, forget about all of this. You've never seen anything like this program. This program is unique. This program is different. This program is going to provide you with access to new profiles of students, to new profiles of a community that you can start building up. Do you want to extend a community to your students beyond just the learning experience that they're consuming and paying you? And they said, yes, we definitely want to do that. And we're especially interested in extending our offerings, not just to consumers B2C, but also start looking at a very robust B2B offering. So the fact that you guys work with companies and the fact that you generate tremendous traction with those companies, you know, some of them, as we said, remaining with Adizes, talking Adizes, inviting Adizes again, was of great interest to them. So they have agreed to become partners with us. And in a way, we started the partnership in order for it to work under a 50-50 agreement on revenue sharing. Let me tell you, they barely do 50-50 with Wharton. So it was a really incredible accomplishment. They had one discussion with Dr. Adizes, the Vice President of International Partnership from Singapore, had a talk with him, and he was so impressed, and he said, yeah, I want to work with this guy. And so we really benefited from it. And what we promised them in exchange, that not only are we going to give them some of the best content that they've ever seen, even better than Wharton, that we're going to be bringing them professionals that will be working on the development of the product and delivery of the product that are not your typical academic professors that are just repeating again and again, year after year, what they've done. But we have a team that's very dynamic, that's very task-oriented, and that they would definitely figure out a way to work with us that is going to enable them to learn and grow their ability to create more B2B partnerships around the world. That's how we got started. And we sold them on this notion: application-oriented learning, real-world change management. We wanted to use very simple terms, right? So that it would resonate with them. This company, by the way, Upgrade, is mostly populated with very young people, most of them residing in India. Many of them, how shall I say it, love to get their hands dirty. They're very P-oriented. They just, let's do it. And to get them to come on board and be available to us, right, very frequently, whenever we wanted, at any time of the day, sometimes 7 days a week, we wanted to give them a motto to work with that is going to resonate with them. And because of the way that they run their company, that resonated. And they started even talking that they should have some of their executives go through this program, which is fabulous. We really want to encourage that. So we told them it's a brand new program, and it really is, because it's the first time that the Adizes Institute is offering a one-year program that covers many of the areas that were disjointedly offered in the consulting practice, so in some of the seminars that were developed, workshops, etc. But they did not create a comprehensive view that a newcomer can come in and can get a solid idea as to what is this thing, you know, what do I do with it? How do I get excited about it? How do I then master it enough so I can communicate to my own organization about it and maybe become an integrator, maybe become a change agent, and so on and so forth. And with that in mind, Dr. Adizes put together a curriculum of 10 courses, okay? And those 10 courses, I had to use meticulously crafted because I really believe that we worked really hard on that. And the folks over there in Mexico, and together with Shoham and Virginius and so on, really sunk their teeth into it. Sunk their teeth into it because we did not want to compromise. We wanted to have something that quality-wise was really, something Adizes could be proud of. The whole institution can say, you graduated from the program. Yeah, that's our program. Okay. That it wouldn't be, one more thing, right? That it would be a flagship. That's the approach we used. The people that we wanted to join this program, we specifically said to them, you are going to, as a result, sharpen your skill set. You are going to be, as a result, more confident in your abilities to apply management practices that have been proven throughout many years to be effective for organizations such as the nature of which you're bringing in. However, one of the things that we worked really hard on, and I'm sorry for taking time on this slide, but it is important because I get asked all the time, is what is the bloody program? So the program is a hybrid program, okay? What we're doing is we are putting together original content. These guys are writing, these guys are creating, okay? That is based on a lot of the resources that we already have in existence in the company, right? And organizing them under a new breakdown of topics and knowledge acquisition in a manner in which they could then be reinforced with live sessions with the Adizes associates. So picture this, you have somebody that signed in for the program, they get a note, go to the LMS, Learning Management System, okay? You will find new content for this new course that you will be taking. The content is broken down into modules. Never mind, I'll show it to you. They know that they need to dedicate about 5 hours a week, an hour a day, okay, to go through the content at their own pace, at their own manner of learning, totally personalized to the way that they would like to learn it. However, come the weekend, they're getting together with their peers, they're getting together with the subject matter expert associate, and they have 2 sessions on a Saturday and a Sunday, each an hour and a half session that are fully interactive. Those sessions are specifically there for the purpose of finding out, have they been able to grasp the main concepts that we were trying to give them the opportunity to consume on their own? And if they have, do they see the applicability to their own situation? Can they make use of it? And then open the discussion, being led, of course, by the associate, to be able to figure out best practices, recommended solutions, maybe even just ideas, original ideas that they've thought of as a result of being exposed to this content for the first time. And at the end of each one of those sessions that they undertake on the weekends, they get polled, they get surveyed about what they thought about it, whether it was effective, whether it was not effective. All this data gets collected, all this data gets analyzed, and it is reverted back to the subject matters team in order to be able to look how they can continuously improve the program and make it, of course, more actual, really actual, because these are real companies bringing in their own notions. Here is a list of some of the candidates that we started looking at. It's a wishful list. We weren't always able to get to every single kind of category that we have here, but we are confident that with the ongoing cohorts, we will be able to reach, every single category that we have originally listed as a target. Okay. And we already have some in our first cohort. The other thing that's very, very important that I would like to point out, even though it may have been a pain in the ass for the people working on it, is how do you translate knowledge into learning outcomes? Do you define the learning outcomes based on what only the student wants to accomplish, or also what you want to accomplish, right? Because it's a joint journey. And so we developed those. These are, how shall I say it, more generic in some ways. They're further broken down for each one of the courses. The SMEs took them and then literally detailed them so that they are all actionable. And we put together a curriculum that was scrutinized many times, again and again and again and again, in order to be polished and come up with something that is robust enough. Because one of the key things that we wanted to do, being market oriented, is to justify the cost of $15,000 for the program per person. You have to deliver, right? Is it a Prius or is it a BMW? Okay. The features have to reflect that. So we went through the curriculum again and again and again and again in order to ensure that we're delivering for the value that we are proposing for them to pay for. That was based on competitive analysis that we've done with other programs about how much they charge, et cetera, et cetera. We feel we're in the ballpark, but believe it or not, we're still cheaper. Most programs run at 20 to 45, even though they're all quote unquote follow discounts schedules, blah, 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 blah. So a lot of them are brought down, by 5K, et cetera. So we therefore felt comfortable with a 15,000 initial cost. So then we had to translate. What do we deliver as a product for $15,000? So we broke down to 10 courses, as we said. And one of the first ones, Dr. Adizes said, I want to have a good introduction to Adizes. I don't want to take any presumptions about what people know or don't know. Maybe they think they know, but they don't actually know, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe they read the book. How well did they read the book? Let's just do a real strong intro. So Sean was tasked with being the one that is going to put together the real detailed intro to the Adizes program. From there, we wanted to jump into the Adizes model of management styles. Why? Because we felt, and correct me if I'm wrong, that it was the easiest to digest for newcomers when they first come in. They could relate to it. They could immediately find, the connecting points. They say, yeah, that makes sense. We wanted that reaction. We wanted them to feel that they have the ability to, even though they're being challenged in terms of the knowledge, but they're not totally out of their reach of what they're able to comprehend. Because as was said here, people get overwhelmed when they hear about the methodology, right? Well, as you can see I don't know if you can, but we did change it within the breakdown, and you were the one that led us into that and said, let's start maybe this way, but immediately get into the use of the word leadership.
Management is considered to be middle management. Management is middle management, and they are focusing on top. Top is not connects management, so leadership, executive, not management.
The only thing that we have to be very careful being market oriented is that leadership is become such a cliche. So many organizations use it. Oh, come here, become a leader. We can't. in a boot camp, in a, in a, get together with, that is going to be facilitated by our amazing, consultants. Bullshit.
We also have a definitions issue because for us, leadership is a subset of management styles. It's a subset. So we start calling it leadership styles.
Where's the subset?
Where's the subset? It's a subset.
We really welcome your input, guys. Please, you're the practitioners, you understand, you know your clients, you know a lot of that. So we're presenting it to you. We're open for the next 2 weeks to still have recommendations. On the other hand, we are, of course, going to run cohorts in 2025. So this is an ongoing improvement job. So please, take a look at it after this as well. And then we're moving to course 3. As you will notice, one of the things that we've done is we have varied the length of the courses. Some courses may have 2 modules, some courses have 4, some courses have 6. We did not go by a pre-existing formula. We wanted to make sure that the amount of time dedicated reflects our relative importance of the topic within what we want them to accomplish in terms of the learning outcomes. Okay, so just remember, module equals a week. So that's the self-study 5 hours plus 3 hours of interactive with the associates, which typically would translate our estimate is to about 10 hours. So, 10 hours time, 50 weeks. That's what equals $15,000. Okay, that's where we're at. So we're going from there to the life cycle, which lots of interest in that, always. Yes.
Just a comment. We are constantly improving, and we have got some feedback that participants wanted it to be more case study oriented, more than theory. So even when you see this curriculum, it has been changed a little bit in the content.
Right.
We have
try to incorporate it in each one to have a module that will be a case study module. We also, in our student manual, encourage students to bring their own case studies to the interactive sessions. Right. So we don't want to be the masters of the case studies. We want definitely to be able to learn also and let them have the benefit of working with a consultant associates that knows how to listen, that knows how to diagnose, that knows how to understand, and not just repeat what they have done in the past. Course 5 is one that is, I've gotten quite a bit of questions about it because they see operational best practices and they go, oh my God, do I need that? That really reverberates for people that have seen it quite a bit. We're going, of course, to problem diagnosis, and sense making, which is a foundation. Look, we've got 5 modules there. That's where the variation starts occurring. Moving from there to conflict sources and the facilitation. 6 weeks of that, lots of work in that area. Okay. We are getting into a real deep dive because now they're in the 8th course. So they've been with us for quite some time. So they should feel, able to converse using the right terminology, able to discuss, etc. Now, this is where I get the question, do they have homework and assignments and tests and so on and so forth? The idea is not, they do not. The idea is that they get evaluated as to their ability to have actually comprehended and moved forward, right? But we're not there to grade them. That's not the purpose. And we want to differentiate ourselves by stressing the fact that we're not doing measurable assessments. Okay? Sorry?
Babysitting.
Yeah, right. We also, the other thing that we don't want to do is to utilize assessments as a criteria for one progressing through the curriculum, because we believe that there might be people there, and we have already have for the first cohort that know Adizes, and they may say, guess what, life cycles, I don't know if I want to spend this weekend on this. So we can't make it a prerequisite to continue to the next course, right? So therefore, we do not have conditional assessments that are traditional in the academic setting. Course 9 is the one, again, deep dive into organizational design. And Dr. Adizes, when he developed it, really wanted to put it at the very end, because he wanted them to have the ability to utilize what they've already learned in order to make really good use of that. So that's why it's positioned where it is. The last one is when Dr. Adizes is scheduled to join us, if it fits his schedule. And because that's another one that
Sean is going to teach this class.
Sham is teaching, yes, but we told him that you will be present, and even if it is for half an hour. The other thing that we said is each one of the people that attends this program as a cohort member will get free access to this event. We really want to extend the Adizes community. We really want to have people to come here and challenge what is happening at the convention. We want them to come, of course, with the tools to use it to their best advantage. And we believe for them having a full year or full engagement, 48 weeks is going to put them in the right mindset to benefit from the convention. And many of them felt that having the face-to-face to meet the instructors, to meet the people running the institute is going to be something that they literally would want to at the very end as a closing event.
How many cohorts do you have?
So we have one cohort, which we call the inaugural cohort, that's starting on October 10th this year, okay? The target audience for that was 20 participants.
How many do you have enrolled now?
We have 14 enrolled out of the 20.
Can you tell us something who these 14 are?
Yes, okay. So we have people from different parts of the world. We have a Dane, a South African, a Slovenian, an American, Mexican, let's see.
Ukrainian.
Sorry?
Ukrainian.
Dutch. It's a real mixture. And we all of the people have executive responsibilities, but they haven't necessarily all gotten to a point in which they are the only executive or the top dog. Okay, so some of them, it's a family company, and it's the next person in the succession plan that is going to be attending this, because a parent told them, you got to learn more about Adizes.
It has been a bit aspirational as well. Like people that aspire to be an executive soon, they have the time to prepare and to take and invest this amount of time. Somebody more seasoned either feel they don't need it or don't have the time. So this is really targeted for somebody in their 30 to 40s that are climbing the ladder, be it in a family-owned company or in a professional company. And this is kind of the person we're targeting. Yes, Jan?
What is the vision in terms of, because this is 20 people, it's pretty exclusive, right? So
Well, no, I didn't give a full answer. The initial inaugural cohort is 20 people on purpose, because we need to refine the product. And we cannot do it with a large audience initially, because it would become impossible. We want to really pay attention to them, and we're also offering them to become, therefore, special ambassadors of the inaugural cohort. We will give them a recognition, etc., with the understanding that they will then commit to spreading the word about the program itself.
And if I may, amplify that. After this inaugural cohort, we're going very lightly, would be 1 or 2 cohorts of 35 people a year, each cohort. If it becomes very, very popular, we could be doing up to 3 or 4 cohorts with up to 50 participants. Clarisse, Opera has experience with up to 80 to 100 cohorts, cohorts. That I think is too much for the scope of what we're trying to achieve here. So we don't want to be kind of like us
Well, you-
either. But a nice number is 40 to 50 per cohort. That would be a good number, especially because you don't have 100% attendance to every session. So sometimes an executive is busy, they won't attend, they will watch a recording. So if you have a 40-person cohort, you can expect to have 30 people participating, which is the perfect number.
Let me give you an answer in the terms that I like to speak. We want to have $250,000 with this cohort income. We want to have $500,000 for the next cohort, and we want to get to a minimum of $1 million a year in 25, 26. Hopefully, with the ability to get to 5 million later on, we want this to become a absolute, flagship revenue generator for the institute. We had live webinars for recruitment that were approaching
New people that don't know
the database, and then other people, and those webinars have been attracting hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Hundreds of people. Our conversion rate, just so you'll know, from the Adizes webinars that we do live, the last one is going to be next week, by the way, with Dr. Adizes, is at about 5%. In the academic world, the optimal one is 1.5 to 2%. So with the webinars and with the approach to the existing Adizes knowers, okay, fans, whatever you want to call them, we're able to get a pretty high rate of conversion. Nonetheless, it may not be sustainable. So we are already working on opening new channels in order to gain both brand name recognition, market awareness, educating about the importance of having that, and then, bringing about the initial qualification and the conversion. And that is something that we've spent hours on streamlining the process, hours. Okay, so we're not doing it, I have a person, we're doing it systematically. We have a statistical analysis model that we follow. We check the conversion rates and the expenditure on each one of the ads that are being posted to social media and which one are the most effective. We change them based on the rates and the amount of money we're spending on them on a weekly basis. So we're not worried about the fact that we will cover our cost of investing in this, but we're very much interested in building a business model that is sustainable in terms of scalability and is sustainable in terms of projected revenue growth that is not out of this world, but is doable. There is a need for adaptation in terms of the marketing and sales approach based on when the person is coming from, their previous exposure to Adizes, the current position in the company. It is a pretty complex profiling that has to take place in order for us to adapt the way we're approaching them. I'll give you an example. We just got the full amount wired to us by somebody that we spoke to 3 days ago, an American that knows Adizes. She said, where do I wire the money? Nothing. Seamless, okay? While we had others that we had to spit blood. Why? Well, we cannot pay all of it. How are we going to pay for it? How do we justify it? No, they're Mexican. So, stop. What is emerging? And of course, there are those that say, hey, discount. So, what we are learning, we're learning a whole new language in terms of how to approach the market, right? Because the benefit perception of what the Adizes methodology brings to people that are not there for consulting purposes or eating a problem in the organization is difficult because the competitive marketplace is offering them the moon, okay? Get a degree from Wharton. Come on, how do you compete with that, right? You can take it to the bank if you have it with Wharton. So we have worked diligently in order to be able to understand the right, and I have to just commend one person. He's not here. His name is Diego. And he has been the most incredible listener and the most incredible adapter of the approach, the sales approach, the process to the potential clients. However, he would have not been able to do it if it wasn't for the fact that he worked with Upgrade. Upgrade has extensive experience of talking to thousands upon thousands of students, even though some of them have different profiles. So they have directed us, as to where not to make as many mistakes and get better traction or better conversion.
Okay, could we,
Yeah.